Today we're looking into some of the most famous haunted houses in the United States. We're going to talk about why these places freak us out so much, and why, deep down, we kinda love it. So, get up, grab your nightlight, and get ready, because things are about to get creepy. Welcome to Screamville. The Villisca Axe Murder House, located in Villisca, Iowa, is the site of one of America's most gruesome and unsolved mass murders. On June 10, 1912, 8 people were brutally killed with an axe in this small Midwestern home. The house was home to the Moore family, Josiah, 43, his wife Sarah, 39, and their 4 children, Herman, 11, Catherine, 10, Boyd, 7, and Paul, 5. On the evening of June 9, 1912, the family attended a church service and returned home, bringing with them 2 neighbor girls, Lena, 12, and Ina Stillinger, 8, who were staying over. Sometime between midnight and 5 a.m., an unknown assailant entered the Moore house and murdered all 8 people with Josiah's own axe, which was left behind at the scene. All the victims had been bludgeoned to death, with Josiah receiving the most severe wounds. The killer covered mirrors and windows with cloths, possibly to prevent anyone from seeing into the house. Strangely, a plate of uneaten food and a basin of bloody water were found in the kitchen, suggesting the killer stayed in the house for some time after the murders. Despite a thorough investigation, the case was never solved. The crime scene became chaotic as townspeople walked through the home, possibly contaminating evidence. Over the years, several suspects were considered, but no one was ever convicted. Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher who was in Villisca on the night of the murders. He confessed to the crime but later recanted, and he was eventually acquitted. Frank F. Jones, a prominent Villisca businessman who had a feud with Josiah Moore over a business matter. Some speculated that he hired a hitman to kill Josiah and his family. William Mansfield, a suspected serial killer who had been accused of similar axe murders in other parts of the country. However, Mansfield was never charged due to insufficient evidence. The investigation became one of the most sensationalized criminal cases of its time, but with no conclusive evidence, the case went cold. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House is widely known as one of America's most haunted locations, with paranormal occurrences that many believe are linked to the horrific murders. Many visitors report hearing the voices of children laughing or playing, as well as whispering that seems to echo through the house. Loud, heavy footsteps have been reported, often moving through the house at night, as if someone is retracing the path of the killer. People claim to have seen shadowy figures moving in the dark, especially in the children's room where Lena and Ina Stillinger were murdered. Some guests report feeling as if they were touched or grabbed by an unseen presence. Ghost hunters and paranormal investigators frequently record EVPs in the house, capturing disembodied voices that seem to answer questions. The brutal and mysterious nature of the murders, coupled with the fact that the crime remains unsolved, is often cited as the reason for the house's paranormal activity. It's believed that the spirits of the Moore family and the Stillinger sisters linger, possibly due to the violent and traumatic way they died. Others speculate that the lingering energy of the killer remains as well, repeating the horrific act in a loop. Since the early 2000s, the Villisca Axe Murder House has been open to the public for daytime tours and overnight stays. Paranormal investigators frequently visit the property, documenting their findings on shows like Ghost Adventures and The Dead Files. These investigations often capture unexplained events, further fueling the house's haunted reputation. Despite its tragic history, the Villisca Axe Murder House has become an enduring part of American lore. It stands as both a reminder of the dark past and a window into the paranormal, attracting visitors from around the world who seek to connect with the spirits of its tragic residents. The house's haunting serves as a lingering mystery, with visitors hoping to catch a glimpse of its secrets, or even solve the case that has eluded answers for more than a century. Next, we have Franklin Castle, also known as the Tiedemann House. It's one of Cleveland's, Ohio's most infamous and mysterious buildings. It's known for its dark history and ghostly encounters. Constructed in the 1880s by German immigrant Hannes Tiedemann, the mansion is an ornate example of Victorian architecture and has earned a reputation as one of Ohio's most haunted locations. In 1881, Hannes Tiedemann, a successful banker and grocer, built the house for his family in Cleveland's Ohio City neighborhood. The family consisted of Hannes, his wife Louise, and their children. The mansion, with its Gothic towers, arched windows, and stone construction, was designed to showcase the Tiedemann family's wealth. Over the years, the family added hidden passageways, trapdoors, and even a ballroom, features that later fueled speculation about the house's sinister history. The family suffered a series of heartbreaking losses while living in Franklin Castle, leading many to speculate that the house was cursed. Within a few short years, several members of the family died. Emma Tiedemann, Hannes and Louise's 15-year-old daughter, was the first to die in the home in 1881 from complications of diabetes. His mother, Wiebeke Tiedemann, died shortly after Emma, within the same year. 3 more of the children also died young, though details around their deaths remain vague. Louise Tiedemann died in 1895, leaving Hannes devastated. These repeated family tragedies sparked rumors that Hannes himself might have been responsible for some of the deaths, although no evidence ever confirmed such suspicions. After Hannes remarried and moved away, rumors of sinister events in Franklin Castle began to circulate. According to local legend, Hannes might have killed his niece in a fit of rage and even strangled a servant in the house. Some say he had rooms built specifically for torturing or imprisoning people, although no proof has surfaced to substantiate these claims. In 1895, shortly after Louise's death, Hannes sold the house. He passed away in 1908, taking any secrets with him. The house changed ownership multiple times over the next century, with each new resident seemingly reporting ghostly encounters or strange events. The many deaths and dark rumors surrounding Franklin Castle have led to widespread beliefs that the house is haunted by multiple spirits. Visitors and former residents have reported seeing the ghostly figure of a woman dressed in black in the tower window, thought to be the spirit of Louise Tiedemann or one of Hannes's daughters. The sound of a crying baby or a young girl is frequently reported, especially in rooms associated with the children. Some believe these sounds come from Emma Tiedemann, or another child who passed away in the home. Many visitors report seeing shadowy figures moving through the hallways, particularly near the hidden rooms and passageways. The castle is said to have rooms that suddenly go cold, as well as frequent electrical issues, which some attribute to paranormal activity. Reports of footsteps echoing on empty floors, voices in empty rooms, and inexplicable sounds of people talking are common, particularly in the ballroom and near the staircase. One of the most chilling legends surrounding Franklin Castle is that of a supposed murder room. While no evidence supports the idea that Hannes committed murder in the house, there are rumors that bodies were once discovered hidden behind a wall. Some visitors claim that this area of the house is especially active, with many reporting an intense feeling of unease there. Franklin Castle's reputation has made it difficult to keep owners for long. Multiple owners have tried to renovate and restore the castle, but they often abandon the project after experiencing unsettling events. The Romanos intended to turn the house into a church, but abandoned their plans after reporting ghostly encounters, including sightings of figures in Victorian clothing. The discovery of bones behind a wall in Franklin Castle has become one of its most enduring and chilling mysteries, fueling speculation about possible murders and hidden secrets within the mansion. According to reports, skeletal remains were found during a renovation in the 1970s, and the incident added an even darker layer to the castle's already infamous history. The bones were reportedly found in 1975 when the Romano family, who owned the property at the time, was attempting to renovate the mansion. As they were working on the house, the Romanos came across a hidden panel or wall in one of the rooms. When they opened it, they discovered bones that appeared to be human. This discovery quickly spurred rumors that the bones might belong to someone who had been murdered and hidden in the house. Given the rumors about Hannes Tiedemann's alleged violent acts against family members and servants, many believed that the bones could be evidence of one of these supposed murders. However, investigators examined the bones and concluded that they likely belonged to animals rather than humans. Despite this, the idea that human remains could be hidden within the castle persisted in local legend. Some people believe that the animal bones explanation might have been a way to cover up darker findings, or that there could be additional remains hidden elsewhere in the house. The discovery of bones intensified the castle's haunted reputation, reinforcing stories that the house contained hidden rooms and gruesome secrets from its past. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts alike point to the bones as evidence of possible murder and a reason why the castle might be haunted by restless spirits. Some speculate that even if the bones were animal, their presence behind a hidden wall indicates strange activity that could explain some of the eerie hauntings. Paranormal investigators argue that the tragic energy of the home, whether from the confirmed family deaths or unproven tales of hidden bodies, continues to influence the hauntings reported throughout the castle. The mystery surrounding the bones behind the wall remains unresolved. Although authorities have maintained that the bones were not human, the fact that they were hidden has left an unsettling impression on the public. Today, they serve as an eerie symbol of Franklin Castle's dark legacy, sparking ongoing debate about what else might be hidden within the mansion's walls. The story of the bones, real or not, adds to the lore of Franklin Castle, with some visitors convinced that the spirits of past residents still wander its halls, seeking peace from their tragic pasts. Over the years, paranormal investigators have visited Franklin Castle, documenting everything from strange noises to sudden drops in temperature. Many believe that Franklin Castle is haunted due to the numerous deaths associated with the Tiedemann family and the rumors of violent acts and hidden bodies within its walls. The mysterious deaths of the Tiedemann children and the rumors of Hannes's mistreatment of his family and staff contribute to theories that their spirits never left. Additionally, the home's hidden passageways, rumored secret rooms, and eerie architecture add to the belief that the castle harbors dark secrets. Franklin Castle remains a landmark of haunted lore in Ohio, drawing curiosity from around the world. Whether or not the tragic events were truly responsible for paranormal occurrences, the house stands as a testament to the Tiedemann family's unfortunate history. The castle's ominous past and legends continue to make it a popular destination for ghost hunters and those fascinated by the supernatural. The Sallie House, located in Atchison, Kansas, is renowned as one of the most haunted houses in the United States. The house was built in the mid-1800s and commissioned by the Finney family, once served as the residence of Dr. Charles Finney. It is rumored that Dr. Finney practiced medicine there, using the ground floor for surgeries and examinations, and converting a bedroom into an office. The Sallie House is allegedly haunted by the ghost of a young girl named Sally, who is said to have died there. According to legend, Sally was brought to Dr. Finney by her mother for severe abdominal pain. Believing her appendix was about to burst, Dr. Finney began emergency surgery after administering anesthesia. However, he made the first incision before the anesthesia had taken effect. Sally reportedly awoke in excruciating pain and eventually died from blood loss. Over the years, former tenants have reported numerous paranormal incidents, particularly affecting male residents and visitors. Many men have claimed to be scratched until they bled, earning Sally the nickname, the Man-Hating Ghost, possibly because her last experience involved a male doctor she may have perceived as causing her suffering. The Sallie House gained media attention in the 1990s when it was featured on the paranormal television show Sightings. Former residents later appeared on A Haunting in 2006 and Paranormal Witness in 2013. The house was also investigated on Ghost Adventures in 2015. The haunting phenomena at the Sallie House are attributed not only to Sally, but possibly to other spirits as well. Tony and Debbie Pickman were a young couple, recently married, and pregnant with their first child, when moved into the home in December of 1992. Happy and hopeful that this would be the perfect dream house to start their family, the unusual occurrences began about a month after the couple moved in, initially presenting as subtle disturbances. In the early days, they noticed only minor incidents like dimming lights, cold spots, toys activating on their own, and odd behavior in their pets. After their son was born, however, the activity seemed to intensify, often disrupting the baby's sleep. The couple even learned from a neighbor that the nursery lights stayed on through the night, despite being turned off before bedtime. They also found strange mold forming on various items in the house for no apparent reason. On one occasion, the couple returned home to discover all the stuffed animals in the nursery arranged in a circle on the floor. Another particularly frightening night prompted them to spend the night elsewhere. But just as they were leaving, Tony Pickman felt a burning sensation on his back, which turned out to be 3 mysterious scratches. Following this incident, the Pickmans reached out to psychic medium Barbara Connors, who visited the home to gain insight. She believed the spirit of a young girl, Sally, was present and was acting out for attention. Under her guidance, the Pickmans tried to welcome Sally as a ghostly daughter. However, the disturbances and attacks on Tony continued. During their child's birthday party, a doll even inexplicably caught fire. Eventually, the family decided they could no longer live in fear and moved out after only 2 years. In recent years, Debbie Pickman has expressed her belief that Sally was not a lonely spirit, but a malevolent entity pretending to be a child to gain their trust. Visitors and paranormal investigators who spend time in the Sally house report intense feelings of unease, sightings of shadowy figures, and other eerie experiences. The house's reputation has only grown over the years, drawing ghost hunters and thrill seekers who believe Sally, or something more sinister, continues to inhabit the space. In the 2000s, there was a pentagram drawn on the basement floor of the home, as well as evidence of satanic rituals taking place on the property. There was even a luminol test performed in the home that allegedly highlighted signs of blood spatter in the closet of the master bedroom, as well as satanic sigils on the walls. A bloody sweater was also reportedly found in the attic. Let's talk about the Demon House. In November 2011, Latoya Ammons, her mother Rosa Campbell, and her 3 children aged 7, 9, and 12 moved into a house on 3860 Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. Soon after settling in, they reported strange occurrences, beginning with black flies swarming their porch in December, which recurred frequently. Initially, Campbell heard footsteps in the basement and doors creaking. Later, she claimed to have seen a shadowy figure of a man pacing in the living room and found a boot print. Campbell also alleged she was choked by an unseen force. Ammons' 12-year-old daughter reportedly levitated unconscious above her bed during a sleepover. The family prayed until she returned to the bed, though she had no memory of the incident. The older son was allegedly thrown across the room by an invisible force, while the younger son, with his eyes rolled back, reportedly growled phrases like, "It's time to die," and "I will kill you." The family consulted physician Jeffrey Onyekwu on April 19, 2012. During his visit, he observed behavior he described as delusional. His office later notified the police, and when officers arrived, the children were taken to the hospital. The older boy was calm, but the younger boy screamed and thrashed. In 2012, the Department of Child Services, DCS, was alerted, suspecting the children might be acting for their mother's attention. News outlets like the New York Daily News reported that DCS personnel allegedly witnessed the youngest boy walking up the wall backwards. Veteran Police Captain Charles Austin expressed belief in paranormal activity in the house, and a photo published by the Indianapolis Star reportedly showed a shadowy figure when the house was empty. The family enlisted Reverend Michael Maginot to perform an exorcism. After interviewing them on April 22, 2012, he concluded they were tormented by demons and performed 3 exorcisms, 2 in English and 1 in Latin, one of which was conducted on Latoya Ammons herself. The Ammons family relocated to Indianapolis in 2012, after which the reported disturbances ceased. In 2014, Zach Bagans purchased the house for $35,000 and later demolished it in January 2016 after filming a documentary there, Demon House, which was released on March 16, 2018. Reviews of the film were mixed, with Steve Barton from Dread Central calling it one of the single most compelling documentaries on the existence of the supernatural. The 2024 Netflix film, The Deliverance, is also based on the reported events. Now, labeled the most haunted house in America, we have the Whaley House. Thomas Whaley, of Scots-Irish origin, was born on October 5, 1823 in New York City, the 7th child in a family of 10. Whaley took over his father's successful business relations, then left New York on January 1, 1849. He traveled to San Francisco during the California Gold Rush, where he engaged in business. He then went to San Diego in September 1851. 2 years later, Whaley went back to New York and married Anna Eloise Delaunay on August 14, 1853. Together, they returned to California, arriving in San Diego on December 7, 1853. On August 22, 1857, the Whaleys moved into their new home, now known as the Whaley House. Thomas and Anna Whaley had 6 children: Francis Hinton, Thomas Whaley Jr., Anna Amelia, George Hay Ringgold, Violet Eloise, and Corinne Lillian. Thomas Whaley Jr. suffered from scarlet fever at 18 months and died on January 29, 1858. After the death of baby Thomas and the loss by fire of their store, Thomas and Anna moved to San Francisco. In January 1859, Whaley turned his affairs in Old Town over to Frank Ames, a Wells Fargo agent. In the summer of 1868, Thomas invested some of his new capital of stock in merchandise and headed back to San Diego. Thomas fixed up the old Whaley house, and Anna and the rest of the family arrived back home to San Diego on December 12, 1868. On January 5, 1882, Violet Eloise Whaley and Anna Amelia Whaley were both married in Old San Diego. Violet married George T. Bertolacci, and Anna Amelia wed her first cousin John T. Whaley, son of Henry Hurst Whaley, inside the family home. Unfortunately for Violet, just shortly after the nuptials, her new husband revealed to her in a letter his sordid past. Bertolacci was a con artist who only married Violet in the hopes of inheriting some of the Whaley family fortunes. Bertolacci vowed to prove his worthiness, but Mr. and Mrs. Whaley would try to sever all contact. Suffering from melancholy, Violet took her life on August 19, 1885. Thomas Whaley died due to ill health at the State Street address. Anna Amelia Whaley died at Modesto, California on December 12, 1905. Meanwhile, the old Whaley house remained vacant and fell into disrepair. In late 1909, Francis Whaley undertook the restoration of the building and turned the home into a tourist attraction. After this history of success and deaths, the Whaley house remains well known as a haunted house. It is said that guests and the staff from time to time will catch a glimpse of the ghost of a Whaley family member who died inside the house, such as baby Thomas Jr., Violet, Anna, Francis, George, or Corinne Lillian Whaley. Before the Whaley house was constructed, the property served as the site for public executions. One of the most notable was the hanging of James "Yankee Jim" Robinson in 1852. Robinson was convicted of grand larceny and hanged on the grounds, allegedly botched in a way that prolonged his suffering. Thomas Whaley reportedly witnessed this execution, and some believe Yankee Jim's spirit still lingers in the house, creating eerie sounds like heavy footsteps. The Whaley family experienced numerous tragedies while living in the house. The losses in the house, such as the death of Thomas and years later, their daughter Violet, created a cloud of sorrow that many say still haunts the house. Many visitors have reported seeing figures resembling the Whaley family, particularly Thomas Whaley's spirit appearing on the upper landing, and Anna Whaley in various rooms of the house. The Whaley house served various purposes, including as San Diego's first commercial theater and county courthouse. These roles brought in countless individuals over the years, many of whom may have left an imprint on the property. People have reported seeing ghostly apparitions of unknown people, possibly former patrons, courthouse visitors, or performers, adding to the house's haunted reputation. Over the years, visitors and employees have reported strange occurrences, such as flickering lights, mysterious cold spots, the smell of cigar smoke, and objects moving on their own. People have also heard children's laughter, crying, and other sounds that cannot be traced to any source. The Whaley house has attracted paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, and curious tourists from around the world, many of whom claim to feel the lingering presence of the spirits from its dark past. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do you think these places are haunted? Let me know, and thanks for watching.